All right, so welcome back to my Stanley Cup playoff previews for 2023. And today we'll be previewing the Boston Bruins against the Florida Panthers. For many people, this should be a no-brainer of a matchup. I will talk about it. I don't think the result here or my prediction should surprise anyone. I don't see Boston losing this at all. It's a historic year for Boston. It'd be a shame if they pulled a Tampa. Am I right? All right. So before we get started, my playoff bracket is here. I posted the video earlier today in my channel. Feel free to check that out as I explained all these matchups. So yeah. And let's get into the preview without further ado. So game one is on Monday, April 17th in Boston at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So first, let's take a look at some of the players and the numbers. Get acquainted with these teams because, frankly, I need to get to know these teams too. I don't watch any Boston or Florida hockey. So let's get to it. So the Boston Bruins, 65, 12, and 5, 135 points, record-setting President's Trophy winner in wins and in points. They set a record, so amazing season by them. They scored 301 goals, just second to the Edmonton Oilers, and they allowed just 174 goals. And that's arguably first. I don't think it's even close. And that's first. Yeah, not even close. Top six skaters for them: Brad Marchand, Patrice Bergeron, Jake Brusk, Tyler Bertuzzi, Pavel Zacha, and David Pastrnak. Their top four defense: Dmitry Orlov, Charlie McAvoy, Hampus Lindholm, and Brandon Carlo. And then their goaltenders, brilliant tandem here. Linus Ullmark, what a season he's had. Vezina winner, 99% sure. 46-1 on the year, 1.89 goals in a average, 938 save percentage. Felt even more dominant than Igor Shesterkin was last year. And the backup Jeremy Swayman, no slouch either, 24, 6, and 4 on the year, 2.27 goals in average, 920 save percentage. I will think that Allmark will start a bulk of these games, but don't be surprised if Swayman gets some action here as well. Power play for Boston, 22.2%. Penalty killing, 87.3%, which is first in the league. Season series was actually tied. And if you watch the games, Florida gave Boston all they can handle. So for Florida now, 42, 32, and 8 on the year, 92 points. Sixth in the league in goal scoring with 288 goals and 272 goals against, 21st in the league. Top six skaters: Carter Verhaeghe, Alex Barkov, Sam Reinhart, E2, Luosterainen, Lindell, Matthew Tkachuk. Top four defensive: Gustav Forsling, Aaron Ekblad, Mark Stoll, and Brandon Montour. Goaltending, we have Sergei Bobrovsky, 24, 20, and 3, 3.07 goals and average, 901 save percentage. Spencer, 99, 8, and 3, 3.18 goals and average, 901 save percentage. Alex Lyon, who's played some games down the stretch here, 9-4 and 2 in the season, 2.89 goals and average, 914 save percentage. I wouldn't even be surprised if they play Alex Lyon at some point. I do think they'll probably go with Bobrovsky to start, but don't be surprised if they go to their backups. Power play for Florida, 22.8%. Penalty killing, 76%. Yeah, okay, so let's go over some storylines here. So obviously the Boston Bruins, historic year. And a lot of the times that might spell some bad vibes. Remember that Tampa got swept by Columbus, and the 1995-96 Detroit lost in the Western Conference Final to the Avalanche. So It happens. Sometimes these President's Trophy winners take a nosedive in the playoffs. And for the Panthers, it's been much of a different feel to their team. Last year, they were definitively first in goal scoring, scoring over 4 goals per game, and they won the President's Trophy last year. And under a new coach with Paul Maurice, it's felt different. And for better or worse, I don't know. Matthew Tkachuk, though, I think was a good pickup for Florida. And now with Calgary not making the playoffs, maybe the Huberdeau and Uyghur trade wasn't that bad after all. Maybe Bill Zito was having a big brain moment. Now, some of the big players for both teams now. David Pastrnak, 61 goals on the year. Yeah, I feel like he didn't feel as streaky as he previously was. And he was even pretty close to winning the Richard. McDavid just had 3 more goals than him. And for Florida, Tkachuk, big reason why Florida's in the playoffs. Maybe a candidate for the Hart Trophy, honestly. And 109 points for him, tied with Jason Robertson for 6th in the NHL. Now, I think a big story for Boston is definitely in the goaltending, and they definitively won the William M. Jennings Trophy for allowing the least goals. And the one thing I will say about the Allmark and Swayman is that they do lack experience, but I don't know, they've been pretty dominant. For Florida, Alex Lyon, surprisingly, the goalie down the stretch here, and while Bobrovsky's sidelined with an illness and Spencer Knight has been in the NHLPA Employee Assistance Program, Lyon started the last 8 games of the year, and I think it's going to be Bobrovsky and Lyon in the playoffs, and don't be surprised if Lyon honestly starts game 1. I wouldn't rule that out. Obviously, Bobrovsky has the playoff experience, but you never know what happens here. So, Boston, defensive, very defensive. They've held opponents to 2 goals or fewer in 52 games this year, which pretty crazy. And compared to Florida, they almost allowed more than 100 goals more than Boston. So you can definitely see the defense, the difference between these defensive lineups. Now, Boston's path to victory, just keep on rolling. I think the one weakness that Boston might have is just not being challenged during the regular season. How will they respond to adversity? I don't see the Florida Panthers rolling over here. I think it will be a fight. So, yeah, I think just don't get chalky. And for Florida, their goaltending has to be good. And for the most part, it's been mediocre. So, yeah, they'll have to turn it up in the playoffs. But if there's one thing to say here is that Bobrovsky has the playoff experience that Allmark and Swayman don't have nearly as much of. So let's take a look at some of the stats here for both teams. For Boston, David Pastrnak, 61 goals, 52 assists, 113 points. Marchand, 67 points, and Bergeron, 58. Your defense, Hampus Lindholm, 53 points, and McAvoy, 52. For Florida, Matthew Tkachuk, 109 points. Barkov, 78. Carter Verhaeghe, 42 goals, 73 points. Brandon Montour, a lot of points here for him. Felt like he's broken out a little bit. And Gustav Forsling, 41 points. All right, so my prediction here is going to be Boston in 6 games. I think Florida will give them a challenge like they did in the regular season. I think Boston might run into some adversity and they might have some trouble here and there, but I think they will win this. I think they're a little too good. And yeah, it's a shoe-in for a lot of people to just win the whole thing, win the Stanley Cup. But for round one, it doesn't seem like that hard of a prediction to make. But I feel like I'm giving Florida a bit more credit here than maybe some other people are. Yeah, I think we'll see what happens here. It should be an entertaining series, a lot of goal scoring, potentially for these two teams. But Boston, a very defensive team. We'll see if Florida can break through here. All right, that's going to be it for this preview. We'll see you next time for our next one for the final Monday matchup. And we'll keep going for tomorrow as well as we preview the Tuesday games probably sometime tomorrow. And yeah, playoff hockey starts tomorrow as well. So stay tuned, everyone. Get excited. And yeah, we'll see you later. Take care, everyone.